Have you ever dreamed of living, studying, or working in the UK? Maybe you already do. Wouldn't it be great if you had a guide to help you understand the language and culture of this crazy little island nation? Well, look no further, because in this video, I'm going to share with you all the information that you need to know to understand British English language and British culture. I'm going to teach you some really cool slang, help you understand British English accents, and give you loads of cultural tips. Now, these are all mini lessons taken from my brand new online course, A Really British Guide to English. I'll tell you more about that later, but first, let's get started with some classic British slang. Knackered. Knackered is an adjective that means very tired. For example, the kids were absolutely knackered after our day trip to Brighton. The kids were absolutely knackered after our day trip to Brighton. With this one, the pronunciation is really important. Don't say naked, because that could be a bit confusing, right? So, knackered. Pop. This is a fantastic verb. It means to go somewhere for a short time and then return. And it's often used with a preposition. So for example, I'm just going to pop out for a minute to get some fresh air. I'm just going to pop out for a minute to get some fresh air. But you could pop up, pop down, pop out, pop in, all kinds of variations. Our next word, nice one. This is a phrase that we use to show approval. We've just been invited to Kaz's wedding. Nice one. We've just been invited to Kaz's wedding. Nice one. Like, I approve. That's great. That's a really British phrase. Up for something. To be up for something. This is a phrase that shows that you're enthusiastic to do something. We often use it in a question. Are you up for going to Brighton next weekend? Are you up for going to Brighton next weekend? And that means, do you want to go to Brighton next weekend? Okay, those were pretty cool, right? How about we now learn some quintessentially British idioms? My third one, to go pear-shaped. To go pear-shaped. If a plan or activity goes pear-shaped, it goes wrong. So, my plans to go travelling over the summer went pear-shaped when I broke my leg. So my plans to go travelling over the summer went pear-shaped when I broke my leg. So my plans went wrong because I broke my leg. Speaking of legs, our next idiom, an arm and a leg. An arm and a leg. So if something costs an arm and a leg, it's very expensive. Flights to Dubai cost an arm and a leg right now. Flights to Dubai cost an arm and a leg right now. So they cost a lot of money. Full of beans. Full of beans. We learned this one in the first lesson. Do you remember? To have a lot of energy or enthusiasm. When I was teaching kids in Hong Kong, they were always full of beans. So they were always full of energy and enthusiasm. Fun. All right. How about we get a little bit naughty now and learn some very creative British insults? Let's start with a few insults about appearance. These are brutal. For example, to have a face like the back end of a bus. So this is a very offensive way to say that someone is ugly. So for example, not only is he a crap reality TV contestant, he also has a face like the back end of a bus. So cruel. Okay, so a version of that is to have a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. Picture that with me. Yeah, not good, right? So the same idea, right? He has a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp. Oof. Mean. Phew, that was mean, but kind of hilarious too, right? Now, before we move on to learn about British accents, I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit more about my brand new online course, A Really British Guide to English. That's where all these videos have come from. Essentially, it's an all-you-need-to-know guide to life in the UK. There are over 30 videos teaching you the vocabulary the Brits use, the accents that we speak, and the cultural tips that you need to know to understand Britain. It's perfect for anyone who wants to live, study, or work in the UK. It also comes with a 300-page digital book featuring an A to Z of British English words and phrases, plus so much more. The course and the book are your essential welcome pack to life in the UK. I like to think of the course as a virtual equivalent of a welcoming hug when you arrive at Heathrow Airport. It's designed to help you understand the world around you and connect with the people in your life. There are 4 modules in the course. Module 1 is really British life and culture, where we get into the cultural aspects of Britain. The second module is called Really British Words, and that's where we get into the language of British English. Module 3 is Really British Accents, and that's when I deep dive into 5 of the main British English accents that there are. And Module 4 is maybe my favourite. This one is called Really British Conversations, and that's when I invite people to join me for conversations about British life. So we talk about English seaside towns, what it's like to move to the UK, and things like that. They are real, informative conversations that I know you will love. In fact, I've got one at the end of this video, so you can check it out. So if this course sounds like something that would be useful for you, you can get more information by clicking the link in the description below, or you can go to my website, which is shop.eatsleepdreamenglish.com. Go check it out, and I can't wait to see you inside the course. Oh, and did I tell you, there's an X-rated video all about Brits and sex that I can't put on YouTube, but you can get it inside the course. It's very naughty. Shh. Okay, let's continue by learning Britain's most well-known accent, modern received pronunciation. Okay, our first pronunciation feature is the trap bath split. That's A and R. The A of trap and the R of bath. This is one feature that clearly distinguishes RP and other Southern English accents from Northern ones, with its use of these 2 vowel sounds. You'll hear it on A. So examples of the R sound: bath, dance, banana, ask, photograph, chance. Examples of the A sound: man, hand, chat, action, pasta, place, and maths. Let me do an example sentence for you.
Harry had a banana in the bath. Harry had a banana in the bath.
Harry had a banana in the bath. So you hear those sounds. Harry, had a banana, the R, in the bath. Again, that R sound. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. What I'd like to do now is to show you another accent, Scouse. Because the whole point of this course is not just to show you standard English, but it's to show you the sheer variety of English that we have in the UK. Most course books would teach you about standard RP accents. But here at Eat Sleep Dream English, we dive deeper. In the course, you can learn all about received pronunciation, Cockney, multicultural London English, Mancunian, and Scouse. So let's have a little look at the accent of Liverpool. Our first sound is the K sound. The K sound is a really distinctive feature of the Scouse accent. When it appears at the end of a word or syllable, it is pronounced as a fricative. So, bach, luch, tracksuit, New York, rucksack. Can you hear that sound? Here's a practice sentence for you.
Don't look back in anger. Don't look back in anger.
Wow, isn't it amazing how different Scouse sounds to RP? I love the sheer variety of British English accents, and that's something that we go into in depth in both the course and the book. Okay, let's move on to British culture, and in particular, British stereotypes. Brits drink a lot. Yes, this is a stereotype that is absolutely true. Drinking is a huge part of our culture. It's how we form social bonds. Go to any town centre in Britain on a Friday or Saturday night and you'll see packed pubs and bars. They used to say that Thursday nights were the new Friday nights. Well, now they're saying Wednesday nights are the new Thursday nights. That's how much we love alcohol. Okay, I'd love to hear in the comments below, what stereotypes do you have about British people? Leave them in the comments below. That video comes from Module 1, which is packed with informative videos all about British culture. Okay, we're going to finish off by moving on to Module 4, which is my favourite. I invited people to have natural conversations with me about British life. In this one, I talked to my sister Anya about English seaside towns. So Annie and I used to spend every summer in Broadstairs, which was a typical English seaside town. What kind of things would we get up to, a typical English seaside town?
Well, our days were very full.
Yeah.
we would head to the beach and build some sandcastles.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe a car out of sand.
Okay.
We used to love doing that, and then sit in it.
There used to be competitions, didn't there? Like,
Yeah.
sandcastle competitions.
Yes.
See if you could be creative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a picnic down.
Yeah, that's right. So we'd always have a picnic on the beach, wouldn't we? Typically sandwiches, crisps.
Yeah. Get an ice cream in the afternoon.
Aha. So in Broadstairs, there's a place called Morelli's.
Yeah.
Famous place, and you always get an ice cream. Typically for me, it was a 99. I would love which is like vanilla ice cream and a chocolate flake
Yes.
stuck into it.
Yes. But you could have anything you wanted. There were about 30 different flavours.
Yeah. Fish and chips. I know, a lot of people associate Britain with fish and chips. Is that something, the Seaside, is that something we used to do that, right?
I mean, that was just, definitely once a week when you're down there, you go and get your fish and chips. And I think day trippers, that was always the thing that we noticed. So people that went just for the day versus us who'd be there for a bit longer.
Yeah.
And on their way home, back up to the train station, they'd go and grab their chippy for the road with mushy peas. That's a very English thing.
Okay, mushy peas.
Mushy peas.
I
I'm
think
not such a fan, but
the most British thing you could possibly do is get fish and chips on a rainy day,
Yes.
drive to the edge, to the cliffs,
Yeah.
to look out over the sea,
Yeah.
and eat your fish and chips in the car with
Yes.
the rain coming down on the windscreen. Okay, I hope that's given you a better idea of what life is like in the UK. If you've really enjoyed these videos, then you will love my brand new course, A Really British Guide to English. As I said before, all these videos come from that course. Plus, there are so many more. If you are interested in joining the course, the link is in the description below. Or remember, you can go to my website, shop.eatsleepdreamenglish.com. Thank you for watching. This is Teacher Tom, the Chief Dreamer, and I'll see you next time.